actually going to just walk around the room, and my sweet husband, who's filming me from Writing Pad Dad, he's going to be following along. So if you get a little motion sick, it's because I'm pointing out a lot of stuff and wave my hands a lot. I'm going to start right here, actually at my Making Connections chain. I used Creative Teaching Press's amazing borders, and I always have a little bit of border left over, so I just cut them into the same shape. And each time my students share a connection that they make to a story, we add a link to our chain, and they know that when all of these links are up there, that we're going to have a little connection party. And so they're working really hard on making really good connections. And not just a connection like my mom's name is Sandra too, like good, meaningful connections. So here we are with our Making Connections chain, and I'm really hoping that it's going to be able to stretch to that side by Christmas time. So we're really excited about this. On my whiteboard, I have lots and lots of pertinent information. Right now, my students have a competition with me on a daily basis for things that I love that I see them do, and things that make me kind of grouchy and sad. And so when they win at the end of the day, today they got 3 love it tally marks, and actually nothing went wrong today, which was fantastic. So my kiddos tomorrow morning will earn another piece of their mustache. This is just a mustache decal that I bought from Party City. It costs $5. You could easily make it out of paper, laminate it, and plop it up with tape. But it says, I mustache you to do your best. And they're working really hard to earn all the pieces of their mustache. And when they do that, they're going to get a party. So, of course, the date, blah, 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 important information is up here. Here's our phonics. This is our spelling sound pattern for the week. But I always tell them what it is. Lots of teachers don't write short O, but I write short O because we call it that later. We call it short O and long O, and if we haven't been calling them that since the first day of school, they're not going to make the connection. So here's the spelling letter used in a lot of different ways, and then here it is just in 2 word families. And then down here are our high frequency words of the week. So this is this part of my whiteboard. Across the top, I have my alphabet. And on my blog, you can get these little alphabet buntings for free. Just type in vowels, pennant, and that'll come up. So here's our alphabet. And then over here, I have my essential questions and essential learning. So this is what's going on in language arts. This is what's going on in math. And this is what's going on in science. And then this is where my fluency goes. Fluency at the beginning of first grade is kind of debatable. Should kids be timed? I don't think so. I don't think they should be timed. But we definitely work on a little short passage together every week. So here's my fluency, lots of picture cards, very predictable at this point in the school year. And of course, my phonics library of sounds. Now, lots of teachers staple these to the board. If you do that, I totally get it. I did it for years and years and years. But here's the deal. If you put it up with push pins, then these come down and up really easily. You can talk about them with the kids, you can wave them around, you can do a little dance with them. But you can also set them up on your board and you can do making words activities with them. These are very tactile to my students. They like to manipulate them, they like to play with them, they like to rhyme with them. So these come down. I put this little letter behind them because sometimes when we're doing a making word activities and we've got 13 letters off the wall, it's kind of hard for me to figure out where to put them back up. I mean, it's not really hard, but it's way faster if I've got these little dots up here. And those are a freebie on this blog post, so you can just download them at the end. But let me show you how easy it is. You can grab your letters. And let's see, I want to work with the at family. So I've got cat, and I've got rat, and I've got sat, and I've got fat. I really do need to go on a diet. Anyway, and then I also want to mix in another vowel sound. I want to talk about ought. So I'm going to start pulling. We've got hot, thought, lot. So you can see, I'm just going to plop these up on the whiteboard, and we're going to interact with them, we're going to play with them, we're going to rhyme with them. And now I can just plop these right back up at the end of every school day, and it is so incredibly fast because of my little letter circles. Chevron tree, I know I can't help myself, I love Chevron. This is just wrapping paper. So I got the amazing borders, again from Creative Teaching Press. I made a little sun from the yellow. I went with a lime green and a teal and a kind of pink pattern this year. And so here's my amazing little tree. And up here are going to go our nouns apples. I'm going to have little Johnny Appleseed right here. And all of their nouns work is going to go here on this bulletin board. So it's a nice big space. I can fit lots of good stuff on it. This is my cute son. I'm going to wave to people. I'm famous. Hi! Okay, and these amazing pennants are also from Creative Teaching Press. And you're able to put on them whatever you want. You can write with marker. I went ahead and just cut out of black construction paper. I have 3 pennants in the room, but they say you are smart, you are loved, and you are gifted. Those are the 3 things that my kids need to know in 1st grade. So those are on the pennants. Here is one of my favorite bulletin boards because of these little arm prong doohickey things. I just get a 2-hole punch. I punch the papers, and they slide on really easily, and then these open up. No stapling, no nothing. They come on and off really quickly. 5th graders love putting my stuff up for me and taking it down, and I don't have to give them a staple remover or a stapler. It's heavenly. Up here is where I can put all of my lettering, and then here is where I can put either the Common Core Standard. I like to write the Common Core Anchor Standards versus the Common Core Detail Standards. I think they're more powerful, actually, the College and Career Readiness Anchor Standards. This is where I write the standard, this is where I do some cute lettering, and their work goes here. I want to talk to you about this amazing little spot of polka dots. Here's the deal. These polka dots probably actually won't stay up there when I put work back up there. But there's nothing worse to me in a classroom than a blank bulletin board. It bothers me. I mean, I know I probably should take medication for it. But a blank bulletin board screams at me, like, do something with me, and I'm trying, it's a lot. So if I can just throw these polka dots up on the board, it doesn't look so blank. It looks thoughtful, it looks creative. I know some teachers do an under construction sign. That's totally cute too. For me, it's just a slap of the polka dots, and it's adorable. And then this is my Leap into Collaborative Learning. This is the one board that I actually left up for you. Because this board is going to be here all year for me. I used Creative Teaching Press's amazingly cute little frogs. And collaborative learning is like the big hot buzz Common Core thing. We're supposed to be doing it. Anytime the kids can be learning together, that's better than the kids learning on their own, right? Sometimes they do need to learn on their own. But this board is where I exhibit all of their amazing work. And what I like about it is I put up these little push pins, and then I've got the kids' pictures, and I just punched a hole in their pictures. I punched a hole right in their foreheads. I wasn't really thinking. But it looks adorable, and I can tell exactly which group work, which kid did which assignment, as can any district admin that comes in, or anybody that wants to see what kids did what work, especially parents. I mean, parents that come in, they want to see their kid. So their group work goes here, their little pictures go here, and this is going to be up all the live long year because that's my goal, is collaborative learning all year long. Here's another amazing border from the good people at Creative Teaching Press. Again, this comes completely blank. I just stuck up you are and love. It could say Mrs. Nice Class. It could say, what up, dog? It can say whatever you want. And I love it. It's so incredibly sweet. And here's a little bulletin board that I did in 2 colors. This is going to be my thinking maps, or my creative processes, my thinking processes maps. Up at the top is where I'm going to put the anchor maps with nothing on them, just so the kids can visually look at what a double bubble map looks like, or what a circle map looks like. And then underneath is where I'm going to do all of the circle maps that we have created. So right now we're learning about Johnny Appleseed. So there's probably going to be a whole bunch of Johnny Appleseed thinking maps up here really shortly. Over here, another You Are Gifted. It's really important to me that the kids know that. There's actually a pretty famous quote floating around Pinterest right now that says, all children are gifted, but they open their gifts at different times. And I need to remind myself of that, because there are kids in here that are hard to teach. They are. They're just hard. They lack in maturity, or they don't come to school prepared, and that's a struggle. And I need to remember that those kiddos might not open their gifts in my classroom. They might open their gifts at the end of the year or with another teacher. They might not open their gifts until adulthood. I need to honor them and I need to honor their gifting. So this little "You Are Gifted" reminds me that they are gifted, and it's my job to cultivate all of the gifts that they have inside of them. Even if those gifts are dormant for a long time, I need to invest in those kids. So it's just a nice little reminder for me. Over here is my guided reading area. This is where I have a lot of my materials that I use. Here's my little alphabet envelopes that are filled with my letter cards, astronaut, A, alligator, so the kids can sort. Sorting is really big in first grade. I've got my rhyming cards, just the stuff that I need to teach guided reading is right here. And then each guided reading group has their own basket. Up in the top is where we turn in our folders when it's time to do sight word practice. This is also where I put parent work. So when a parent comes in and says, "Hey, I want to help in class," they know to come right here to the polka dot bin and just pull something out and start working on it. These are my art crayons. We always have crayons at the end of the year, and what I did one year is I didn't let the kids take their pencil boxes home. And so now when I'm doing an art project with them and I want them to use their yellow-green, not their green-yellow, their yellow-green, we just use the art crayons, and then nobody uses some like crazy funky color. And we're almost done. This is kind of a special little spot. As you guys know, if you've been reading my blog at all, I'm big into shout-outs. I really want the kids to feel honored. I want them to feel seen. I want their small victories to be recognized. So at the end of every day, I just take a few minutes and fill out tomorrow's shout-outs. So these are kiddos that are getting awards for specific things. This child is getting an award for being a great wordsmith. This one is showing amazing effort. This one, helping hand. A great file box. These are all my copies for next week. These are all my copies for the next theme. So even though I'm teaching Johnny Appleseed right now, our room moms have run all of our books for blending and all of our stuff for October. So we're very, very lucky to have great room moms, and that's all right here. Very last thing I want to show you is my desk and the area where I keep all of my stuff, because everything is kind of kid related in here. This is my new favorite thing. It's a little 3-drawer stacker, and this was an editable product, and I'll link it on my blog for you. But I just paper mache'd this on. So this is my Do This ASAP drawer. This is my File It drawer, and this is my Grade It drawer. Up on top is where I keep all of my long-term planning. So these are my old pacing guides. I hung on to them because they're not all bad. It's still very helpful to know which stories I can find which information in. These are my modules from the district, all printed up for trimester 1. So this is my planning stuff, and here's my fluency. So here's the CAP fluency from last week, and here's our eating good food fluency from this week. So when I'm done with it, I can just fold the sentence strips in half, put it in here. I've got a sample of the art. I've got everything all in one spot. And this is just a 12 by 12 scrapbook holder from Hobby Lobby. And of course my desk. I've already talked to you guys about my desk. But this is a staging point for my day. So basically I just work my way through the day. This is language arts. This is writing time, which they have their writer's workshop notebook in their desk. So it's not something that I have to have up here. Here's my math lesson. Here's my science and social studies. Here's my guided reading. Here's the book I'm going to read to them tomorrow. And these are all of the notes that need to go home to the parents that were in my box this afternoon. Here's my lesson plan book, another amazing Chevron from Creative Teaching Press. And that's it. That's my... All the freebies mentioned in this video are linked on my blog. If you're interested in finding them, go to teachertothecore.com and click the freebies tab or the classroom tour tab. And special thanks to Creative Teaching Press, who sent me the most amazing Chevron goodies and Froggy goodies, and oh my gosh, the goodies that arrived in that box were wonderful. Thank you so much, Creative Teaching Press, for not only making teachers' lives easier, but for making our classrooms beautiful. Until next time, have fun teaching, and I'll see you soon.